Speaking on his weekly Issues in the News program, Nandlall explained that the initial distribution of EID cards, currently limited to select government employees, is entirely voluntary. He said the pilot phase is unfolding while preparations continue for the full activation of the Digital Identity Card Act and the Data Protection Act, which were passed last year to guide the country's digital transformation. Although both laws have been enacted, their commencement orders are yet to be issued, a decision Nandlall describes as deliberate. He said the government understands the magnitude of the administrative systems and nationwide infrastructure required before the legislation can come into full effect.
These two pieces of legislation have been hailed as modern, as visionary, and as containing all the protective safeguards that are necessary in relation to legislation of their type. In fact, when I spoke in the National Assembly, I made reference to an expert from Barbados who wrote in the Barbados Nation an article saluting the Guyana's Data Protection Act.
He added that implementation demands the establishment of centers across the country, staffed with trained personnel and equipped with the necessary technology. Quote, time is required, end of quote, he said. Still, Nandlall assured the public that the government is working with every convenient urgency to build the human, technical, and physical capacities needed for a smooth nationwide rollout. Responding to public concerns, especially those raised by the political opposition, Nandlall insisted that no private or sensitive information is being gathered at this stage.
The persons who were invited to participate in this process were told that they don't have to participate if they wish not to, because the law is not in force. That when the law comes into force, then everyone will be compelled or compellable by law to participate. In other words, the participation of the process at this initial stage was based upon voluntariness.
This includes names, addresses, national ID numbers, passport numbers, taxpayers' identification numbers, driver's license numbers, and details from birth and marriage certificates, as well as photographs and other civil registry data. These are all information already in the public information system, Nandlall stressed. No medical records, bank details, or intimate personal data have been taken from anyone. He rejected accusations that the state intends to misuse citizens' information, calling the claims by APNU and some commentators unfounded, without bias, and polluted by
The
politics.
government has access to this information anyhow through the various state agencies. Not that the government will ever, at least not our government, will want to take. What use will we make of your passport number? What use will we make of your driver's license number? Those are information that any person, governments have access to those types of information. What the process is not taking from citizens are the type of information that are deeply personal and that data protection laws are passed to protect.
Nandlall said that once all systems, centers, and regulatory bodies are fully in place, the commencement orders will be issued, making participation mandatory, consistent with modern national ID systems around the world. For now, he reiterated the process remains voluntary, limited in scope, and guided by strict safeguards. He concluded that when the digital ID platform is formally launched, it will operate under the most modern statutory protection, ensuring privacy, security, and public confidence. Adanodor, Guyana TV9 News.